Hello, everybody. Thank you for jumping on. Thank you for being a part of this ride. Really appreciate it. I love it when I get the little notification, and it's happening more and more. Actually, I've had to turn off the notifications. Sorry. So I do check it, though. I still watch it, and I still really appreciate all the sharing that's happening and how we're reaching out together as a team. I really appreciate how each one of you is part of something bigger than yourselves, and I love being a part of something bigger than myself. So I really appreciate everybody's efforts, everybody's love that they're showing. I mean, some people have beautiful voices, some people, artwork, artists and such, dancers that are able to just share light and love and inspiration to their music, right? Well, I'm not going to sing. We'll just leave it at that. You can put together the pieces. So I'm really grateful that everybody's helping me share my voice to make this world a better place. And as we share voices together, then we can make this world a better place to live in and just generally help people, uh, lift to that next level, right? Life is not going to be perfect. We're going to have struggles, right? But we don't have to go through them alone, right? So, with that, I've chosen for this show a couple of different topics. The first one is going to be regarding the announcement that Google made about changing from Google Google Podcasts to YouTube Music. Now, this change is going to cause an upset for many podcasters' businesses. So we have a choice, myself included, on how we're going to act. Okay, how are we going to react? Some may catastrophize me. Oh, this change is going to change everything. My finances are going to go down. But nobody's going to follow. Nobody's going to follow me there. My cash flow. Anyway, you get the point. Or they have the choice, though, to grab hold of this change, make the changes that they need to in order to be able to build the foundation, to build the structure that they need in order to be able to make this transition and even ride this wave, yes, but even thrive because of this change, allowing this to kind of get them out of their comfort zone so that they can build. And that's often what challenges will do, right? They'll get us out of our comfort zone if we choose to let them, right? Google's given us plenty of warning. Really, already, if someone only had one platform, they're kind of building on a sandy foundation. So Google's given us a chance to kind of build our foundation wider if it's not already there. Okay. On a different note, but on the same note, I'm curious how many people are banking their future, their financial future, on one form of income, trusting that the business that they're with has their best interests at heart. They may. The business, it might be a family run business, and they may have their best interests at heart. Absolutely. But economic downturns still happen, right? Things out of their control still happen. So we need to have our base wider so that we can weather those storms, like COVID, like those different storms, right? So I read a book about 20 years ago that urged everyone to have multiple sources of income. I actually still have it up on my bookshelf. I can't remember the exact name. Anyway, it's the ABCs of Making Money, I think it was called. Anyway, in there, it urged you to have multiple sources of income, even if they were small, just have lots of different sources of income. Now, of course, there's balance to that. You don't want to be so fingers in so many things that you're drawn too thin. Of course, there's balance to that, but not for betting everything on one source of income. That's maybe not wise either. So I just finished another book that suggests that few people become wealthy in their day job and that the wealthy become wealthy through their other incomes, their after hours incomes. Okay, so however you do it, stay legal. Make sure that as your income goes up, though, and here's the key, because many people get raises and their incomes go up or they get promotions or whatever, but then so does their spending. So as your income goes up, make sure that your spending stays where it's at. Okay, if you were able to subsist on where you're at before and suddenly your income rises up, you don't need to follow suit with this, right? Keep this here. And then that gap will allow you to save, to invest, to get things going for your retirement, to be able to get out of debt, because there's so many people, like, I don't remember the numbers, but the amount of credit card debt is killing our nation. Yes, we're not third world country, but some of them are better off than us because they don't have all that weight that they're carrying around. So as you save money by shopping around, take that savings and put it in a retirement plan. Okay. I could go on and on for this with this topic. We're taught how to make money, but few of us are taught how to use that money, how to save and how to invest. The power of compound interest can be your enemy when it traps you, or it can be your friend and business partner, your ally, if it's working for you. So the question I ask is, are you the master of your money, or is your money your master? So something to think about. And if you're having struggles with that and you need some coaching on that, reach out. I can help you out there. But obviously, I'm not a tax consultant and all that, so we're not going in deep. But there's some simple things that we can do. And actually, in the next couple of podcasts, I am going to spend some time touching on some simple things that will help you get on the right path. So the second topic is very similar, but important enough that I wanted to separate it out. Okay, I wanted to make it two separate entities. Something that I often hear from students young and old is this blame game. Okay, it's the government's fault. It's COVID-19's fault. It's my parents' fault. It's my kids' fault. I could go on and on, right? You've probably heard this too. If those podcasters blame Google or YouTube for this change, they're giving their power away. Okay, when you blame others, when you blame the government, when you blame the environment, when you blame the weather, you're giving your power of choice away. If you blame the economy or your boss or anybody, anything else other than taking responsibility, you're giving that power away. When you don't have power, because you've already given that away, you're stuck and can't do anything to change until you decide to look in the mirror, look inside yourself, identify what part of you is causing this situation. Okay, I know it's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, but take your responsibility. I know there's lots of other things that are influencing it, but take charge of your parts and do what you can to change your part. There's enough power in this world, or there's enough people in this world, that have given up their power. Now's your chance to stand up and exercise your power to choose, your agency. Okay, it is better to stand alone, knowing that you're doing what's right. Not on a high horse, though. Not on a, look at me, I'm all high and mighty because I'm making the right choice. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being integral to yourself, knowing that you can look at yourself in the eye and not squint, or not shy away, not be embarrassed, okay? Not because you're perfect, not because you've never made mistakes, but because you're trying and you're doing your best to do a little bit better every day. You're repenting every day. You're saying sorry every day. You're growing every day. And that looks different for everybody, right? We're at different spots. Nobody's above or beyond or below or anything. None of that junk. We're all on the same path together. That's why we can work together to make this world a better place, because we're all on the same path together. We're just at different points in that path. So the people that are ahead of me, they're no better than me, but I can reach to them for their example. People that are behind me, I'm no better than them, but hopefully I'm reaching back and helping them as well. Okay, so that's the goal. It's not a better than or anything like that. It's how can we all work together to make this life, because it is tough. Tough things happen. But if we're together as a team, we can work together and make things happen. Okay, this world has enough people trying to separate us that I think we can hold tight and stay together. It's funner with more people anyway. Funner is not a word. Anyway, let's continue. So lastly, as a tool to take control of the situation. So we've talked about the different concerns. Now let's talk about a tool that we can take responsibility for things, or take control of our situation. Maybe that's a better way to put it. This is a strategy that I learned from another podcast. It was Jody Moore's podcast that I listened to, but she referenced somebody else on this. It is called, or it was referred to it as, she referred to it as the subtraction principle. Okay, so habitually, people, when they're feeling down, frustrated, or just blah, they feel like they deserve something. So they go to buy something that they really don't need, or something that they really don't want. But somehow that purchase gives them the dopamine hit that makes them feel better, right? So I always find it interesting how people think eating more, I'm going to eat this ice cream because I deserve it. I love ice cream, by the way. But if I eat too much, I don't feel well later, right? So even if I deserved it, do I deserve to feel crappy later? No, I don't. So even though I deserve that ice cream doesn't mean I have to eat it, right? So in other words, I guess just taking control of your actions, taking control of your choices, not because you deserve something or because it's been a long time or whatever, but make the choice based on the facts and how you're going to feel. Your future self is something that Jody talks about. Your future self is going to appreciate your present self. Okay. So quite often, so going back to the strategy. Okay. So people add something. So they're buying or eating, they're adding, right? So instead of adding to try to fill this void by rewarding yourself, whatever that looks like, and getting that one single dopamine hit, okay, momentarily, because once it's gone, once the ice cream's gone, you want more, especially if it's good. Like, anyway, we won't go there. But when it's gone, we're back in that same cycle, right? We're looking for the next dopamine hit. Okay, subtraction principle is a little different. It suggests that instead of adding to it or buying or doing something to add to your situation, subtract. Okay, now some people will be like, what? How is giving something up going to help? Well, guess what? If you're feeling down, frustrated, or blah, get rid of something. Go through a closet. Go declutter something in your life. Okay, however that looks like for you. For instance, in my world, I've decluttered by getting rid of some tools that have been sitting around that haven't been used forever. So I've given some away. I sold some, and yeah, it cleaned things out. And now every time I go by there, by the tool shop or the man cave, as everybody calls it, it's got chi flow. I can find things better because I'm not going through all these other tools, right? So the subtraction principle suggests that when we're feeling down, frustrated, or blah, we get rid of something, we declutter somehow, right? This way we get the dopamine hit when we do the project, but we also get another one every time we think or remember what we did. So every time I remember, like right now, I'm thinking about my clean shop, right? That, to me, I just got another dopamine hit, okay? Whereas if I think about the ice cream that I already had, I had the dopamine hit. Yeah, there's no more dopamine hit, okay? So, yeah, think about that. Every time you walk by your closet, if you've cleaned out your closet, you could get a dopamine hit before you go to bed, when you get up, when you change. Like, wow, that's a lot of dopamine hits. So, not that we're trying to drug ourselves with natural drugs, but anyway, you get what I'm saying. So we could go even a step further and take the money you would have spent on those new clothes or that ice cream binge and invest in just put it in your savings account if it's not a big enough amount of money to invest. Put it so that, again, you have that power of you have that power of compound interest. I get so excited about this stuff because if we do this, we take so much stress out of here and get rid of it. Okay, so you can have that power of compound interest working for you instead of against you. So hopefully you can take a little smidgen of this and stay tuned for the future episodes that we're going to go over some principles from a really good book that I'll announce later because I can't remember the title right now. And he goes through 5 lessons a millionaire. Actually, that's the title of the book. 5 lessons a millionaire taught me. We're going to go through that and discuss some of the different principles because they apply to everybody, no matter where you live, right? There's always things we could do to win in the margins is one of the things he talks about there. So we'll get into that next time. So thank you so much for staying with us, for following us, for sharing. I love to see when my phone's bing, 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 and people are sharing our podcasts when they come out. Really appreciate that. Again, we can work together as a team to make this world a better place. I'm so excited to be a part of this all with you. And let's roll with change because change is constant in our world. And if we build that foundation wide, then we can grow because of the challenges and not tumble. Because we are all here to inspire. Be safe.